Scott Abraham and 54-year-old Richard Carolyn. Strong finishes in the first two events of the season placed them in strong contention for the Production Vehicle Championship. The drive of the event belonged to Morocco rally winner Geniel de Villiers in the proudly South African Nissan hardbody. He had come from last to ninth on the road and was now second overall on corrected time. The multiple Bankfin Touring Car champion was truly in a class of his own. Brothers Yuri and Andre du Plessis rounded out the top 10 in the Class E BB Auto Nissan hardbody. Presented by 20 kilometers to go, Hannes Grobler and Richard Lee could smell victory and a new record of 6 consecutive wins. Such has been the dominance of the Nissan off-road team that the last time another manufacturer won was on last year's Barberspond 500 when Api Reineke and Robin Houghton showed everyone the way home in the Castrol Toyota Land Cruiser. John Weir-Smith and Jeff Minnett have the special vehicle category win well within their grasp. There was huge fan support for local heroes Carlos Duabru and Shumi van Vieren in the Class D leading Chibuku Toyota Land Cruiser. John Moore and Fred Werner hoped the motor of the Shell Connex Chenoweth would survive long enough to secure them second overall in the special vehicle category. Castrol Toyota crew Mark Ronier and Chris Birkin didn't put a wheel wrong all weekend, and the Class E win and valuable championship points were all but guaranteed. A broken suspension in the prologue on day one and no clutch on both days of the Toyota 1000 weren't enough of a deterrent for GBS Nissan racing pair Grobler and Prinsloo as they soldiered on to a well-earned second in Class D. In cricketing terms, the Man of the Match award would most certainly go to Geniel de Villiers in the proudly South African Nissan hardbody. A storming drive would see him finish second overall, just over an hour behind Grobler and Leek. Other than having to stop 5 times to top up the oil tank, there were no other problems for 5th place Scott Abraham and Richard Carolyn in the Atlas Copco Chicago pneumatic Jeep. "42-year-old Francois Smith drove a calculated race and took advantage of the misfortunes that befell his rivals to lead Class B for much of the final day of the Toyota 1000. Yuri and Andre du Plessis with the BB Auto Nissan hardbody have one Class E win under their belts, but this time out they had to settle for second 8 minutes behind Cronier and Birkin. Class D championship leader Johan van der Merwe's hands were blistered after completing the arduous Toyota 1000 Desert Race in the Giovanni Colt Rodeo. The N1 4x4 Toyota Land Cruiser station wagon of father and son Cliff and Louis Weigelt suffered from blocked injectors in its debut race, and the pair was delighted to finish the event. Zane Pierce and Henny Vosloo in the High Q Ford Ranger had their first finish in an off-road race and picked up third place in Class E to boot. It was a case of never say die for Piet Haasbroek and Freddie Schippers. The Castrol Toyota Land Cruiser had no suspension left, but the two pressed on to finish third in Class D. And it couldn't have been a very comfortable ride. To add to their gearbox woes, Gerald Mundell and Billy Bond broke a CV joint late on the final day, which cost them 20 minutes and a possible second place in Class A. Former Group N saloon car champion Wolf-Peter Funfe brought his WPP home second in Class B, but was never a threat to class leader Smit. Jaap Zeeman and Johannes Bauwise in the aging DFS Ferrobrake Ford Cortina kept it all together to win Class F for two-wheel drive super trucks. Thousands of spectators welcomed Toyota 1000 Desert Race winners Hannes Grobler and Richard Leek at the finish in Gaborone. It was an historic win for the proudly South African Nissan team. 6 consecutive wins for Grobler and Leek and 10 for the team.
Today it was very, very nice. We had a very, very good day. We took it reasonably casual. We had a good pace, and the route back was a lot easier with all the tracks that we've made yesterday. And we're very happy because we've won now 6 in a row, and it's a new record for us. So we're very happy.
Not too shabby a performance for a crew with a combined age of 100. John Weir-Smith and Jeff Minnett stormed across the line to their third career win in the special vehicle category.
Absolutely fantastic. Really great race. Just a little bit tired, but we had to press hard. We had 25 minutes to catch up, so we'll see where we go.
John Moore and Fred Werner in the Shell Connex Chenoweth were able to keep it all together and grab the runners-up position in the special vehicle category.
Well, we had to borrow a lot of oil from a lot of the spectators to get here.
De Villiers and Jordan charged across the line in 4th place and were classified 2nd overall on corrected time. The Class D win, and a popular one at that, went to Shimi van Vieren and Carlos Dwabru in the Chibuku Toyota Land Cruiser. They had survived all manner of problems, including broken fuel tank brackets and a shattered windscreen to get to the finish.
Excellent, man. It was wonderful. No problems, clean. We didn't get off the car, just keep rolling.
The Castrol Toyota team eagerly awaited the arrival of their young charge, Mark Ronier, and veteran co-driver Chris Birkin. 2 Class E wins in 3 races and another podium finish for the karting world champion.
It went fine. It's just a tough race, something I didn't expect, but turned out in the end it was okay. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just glad there's a year between the next one.
Only one of the 4 GBS Racing Nissans made it to the finish, and it was Hein Grobler and Gerard Prinsloo who went home the runners-up in Class D.
Het was baie lekker, baie rof. De blazers hier zo.
Scott Abraham and Richard Carolyn made it 3 out of 3 when they finished the Toyota 1000 in the Atlas Copco Chicago pneumatic Jeep. Third in Class T was just reward for their efforts. The burly Francois Smith cruised to a maiden Class B win and 3rd overall in the special vehicle category in the Frannic.
Since the halfway mark, only guess I had left to second and fourth. But yeah, I'm happy. What can I say?
The attrition rate was high, and only 3 Class T vehicles survived the Toyota 1000 Desert Race. The Class D brigade finally came to the fore with 5 finishers in the top 10. Only 5 of the 38 special vehicle starters managed to complete the Toyota 1000 Desert Race. Mundell and Bond's performance now places them at the top of the Class A championship log and 2nd in the overall.